Hey, welcome back to the shop. Today's project, it's not a Corvette. No, we're going to be working on my 95 R129 SL500. We're going to be replacing the infamous, deteriorating, disintegrating, biodegradable wiring harness. And more specifically, the lower harness. The upper harness already been replaced. We'll see that in a minute. But we're going to replace the lower harness, which has wires to the oil sending unit, the alternator, starter, something else I can't remember. But anyway, it's down in the car. So let me get everything set up, bring you back, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, I'll show you what we got going so far. So took the air box off, the bottom filter part off of this side, since we'll be working mostly over here. Excuse me, sorry. Allergies. Front came in yesterday and just completely tearing me up with allergies. But anyway, the wiring harness that we're going to be replacing, it's going to be kind of difficult to see right here. It actually comes in through this loom right here, goes up underneath these valves, comes around, goes through the firewall, comes up and plugs in right here on top of the ECU. So, or ECM. And we are got to pull all that off, get down. While I'm in here, I've got a excuse me, I broke the motor mount on the driver's side. Actually a new motor mount when I was putting it in. I had the bolt kind of cross-threaded, nature's Loctite, and ended up breaking the motor mount. So I have a new one over there on the desk we're going to put in. So I'm going to loosen up the motor mounts and jack the engine up. We can see a little better. Oh, well, while we're here, I can show you this. This is the upper harness. You can see right there, barely you can see it, dated 2017. So the upper harness, which includes all your injector wiring and all that, has been replaced on this by the previous owner. So kudos to you, thank you for that. So one other part we have to do here before we can lift the engine, right here on the radiator shroud. The radiator will be hitting this corner of the shroud, or this part of the shroud, if we just tried to lift it up as it is right now. So conveniently, it has a lock here. You can push these tabs, pull the lock out, and then just twist it. It actually, you can even see on top, it has close right there and open right here. Show you which direction to move it. So that'll get that off. Now the fan will clear. It won't hit anything when we pick up the engine. And we're going to be after, yeah, I can't see it, but the motor mount on this side. I'll give you a quick look underneath what we're looking at here and why we're doing this. Just as you can see, this wiring harness, just the insulation's just flaking off, falling off these wires. This one's going to the alternator. This is going to your oil pressure sender here. And this whole harness that goes up, you can, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but every wire here has got a crack in it, except the orange and white, which is the starter wire. I guess they used something different on that one, but all these smaller gauge wires have that biodegradable harness. I mean, look at that. This is just bare copper wire just running through here, just ready to short out. So yep, that's what we're after. You know, when people talk about the difficulty of this job, you know, you would think, okay, to here, your oil sender and oil level sensor into the alternator is fine. It's easy. Nothing to it. It'd be a 15-minute job, if that. But you have your starter trigger wire that runs back above the motor mount, loops back, and people that I've seen on videos doing this job or talking about this job complain about the exhaust shield and the starter, which is, here's some exhaust shielding, here's some shielding, there's some shielding back here bolted to the frame, shielding going around this steering idler, there's a shield on the starter itself, which there's the starter, and we need to get to the wire on top of it. So yeah, I can completely say that yeah, this is going to be annoying. So let me get these shields off and get the motor mounts loose. Maybe when I jack the engine up, it will give us a little more room to maneuver, because this wiring harness goes in and it actually loops back and comes back to plug into all these, or to plug into the alternator at least. So it up in here, which we can't see, it actually loops back upon itself and comes back. So yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, I can confirm that sucks. Got the shields off, got my wiring harness loose, and also got the cross-threaded bolt off of the driver's side motor mount. That took forever. So now, yeah, now we just got to pull this harness through, start running the new one in. But I may, let me think about it. I may put this motor mount in first. Not sure yet. So let's look at the back up from the top of the car. Get you down here. You see this harness here is the one that we are after. It's completely disconnected from the bottom. We're going to pull it up through here. It was in this plastic loom right there, which of course the tab broke. This one amazingly came loose. And then this harness just runs underneath these relays and this other mess of wiring. Follow it right here, runs up and connects right here at the ECU. Let me fish this out of here real quick and we'll take a look at it on the bench. Okay, wiring harness on the bench. Hopefully you can see that this thing is destroyed. Just coming apart, all the sheathing insulation on the wiring breaking off, cracks everywhere. It's just, I mean, it just flaking off. The white and purple, which goes to the starter, is not affected. It is a point of red. It is of a different, of course it's a different gauge, you can see it's bigger, but that they also used a different material for the insulation, and it is unaffected. All this is original Mercedes. Has a part number in here somewhere, but it's no longer available from Mercedes, so it doesn't really matter. Here's the terminal block that goes up on the ECU. So, done with this harness. Let's get rid of that. What we're going to replace it with, a lot of people rebuild the harnesses, and that's great. If you have the patience, you have the ability to take off some of these connectors, you know, like, if I can get it up here, like some of these connectors for the oil level sensor and low pressure sensor are NLA. So, you know, if you can, you'd probably have to splice into the wire and just kind of put tape on it, I guess, as long as the connection on the inside is good. The connector itself is fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't have the patience to do all that. So I went online, found a replacement. This comes from, not a label here, but it comes from Kurth Classics in Germany. This is the harness that has this is your starter wire. This is that white with purple on it. Oil pressure sensor, oil level sensor, and the wire that goes to the alternator. And the same plug that plugs in at the ECU. You might be able to see this one has an extra prong on number 5 right there, labeled on number 5. But this car doesn't use it. There's no other wire to connect here. If we look back at the car, on the plug where it goes, this would be that port, and that port is empty, and there's no metal, there's nothing in there, so it's just going into an empty port, so it'll be fine. There's not going to be anything wrong with it. Well, I will say, Kurth, just not sponsored, I bought this, but Kurth does offer another harness that has your complete positive cable that comes from through the firewall by your ECM, comes down. This bracket here actually attaches on the transmission. It has a T. Well, this one actually isn't showing the bracket, so this would be the T that goes to the starter, and then it branches off from there, and it has another wire goes straight to the alternator. So that wire on this car is in perfectly good shape. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a bigger gauge wire, different. They didn't use the same biodegradable insulation that they did on the others, so I don't need to replace that wire. I'm just going to replace what we need. You know, the car only needs what it needs, right? So let me snake this in, and I'll pick you back up in a minute. All right, we are done. I know it may be difficult to see, but here is our new wiring harness coming down, zip tied to a clip that broke. all our wires bunched together here. We got our new alternator wire, oil pressure sensor wire, the oil level sensor wire down here. The starter wire goes into the loom. I don't know if you can see the loom right there, but it's loomed in with the power wire going up over the motor mount and to the starter. So the biggest pain of this, the shields, the exhaust shields, yes, they're a pain. I still have to put them back. But I'm gonna say getting this starter wire in the loom with this power wire and back into the clip above the motor mount was probably the most difficult part. So anyway, let me get these shields back on it and wrap this thing up. Got the harness in. Got that motor mount changed on that side that had the broken bolt. And got all the plastics back on it. Battery is reconnected. Fan shroud is back in place. Let's start this puppy up. You see we have good oil pressure. Don't have any warning lights on. Started right up. Sounds great. This car's only got 84,000 miles on it. Should be great. Good. Good job. Nice exhaust note. That noise is the smog pump running. It'll do that till the car warms up, and then it'll shut off. Don't see anything leaking. All right, I'm gonna call. You know what? Whoever the designer was that designed these hinges on this hood to allow it to go 90 degrees into service mode, that guy's a genius. I wish every car did that. That would be so much easier to work on. But anyway, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you on the next one.